It's that through line that I was talking about before that's in my book. And the through line of the book is resilience, is
Mm,
being harder to kill.
yeah.
And you do that by staying in that area of eustress where you're constantly challenging your body in a variety of ways, but not getting to the point of distress. It's kind of like the idea of in exercise physiology, the term overtraining. There's also another term, just under recovered. And so you have to look at it as like it's a series of stressors, but then recovery, stress, recovery, stress, recovery. And you don't want to overstress your body, but you have to find that Goldilocks zone that I was talking about. So that can happen with intermittent fasting and extended fasting. That can happen with the ketogenic diet and having metabolic flexibility. That can happen with, like you said, the cold plunges and the hot saunas, and it can happen with breath work, holotropic, Wim Hof, whatever. Like all this stuff is a stressor, but a good stress when done in the right amount, in the right way. And that's you're doing it. So you're
Yeah.
doing the sleep routine is critical too.
Yep.
Having circadian rhythm alignment. Like
Mm,
one of the things that's actually ideal that I go through in the book is Dr. Sachin Panda's data of eating during that daylight window.
mm,
That's actually pretty critical because we're not meant to be eating like late at night. And we're not meant to obviously be looking at the blue screens, late at night. And we're
yep.
not meant to be in our artificial boxes with the artificial floor, with the artificial realities that we're
Mm,
watching on the artificial screen,
yep.
with the artificial light and, the whole thing. Like that we think is reality and normal. We're meant to be dealing with temperatures outside. We're meant to be breathing fresh air. We're meant to be
Yes.
grounding with bare feet on the earth and getting the geomagnetic forces, the ions. We're meant to be in that circadian rhythm, the sleep wake cycle of daylight and then night. We're meant to have that. And right now we're like staying up till, midnight with this artificial light, and we're just watching someone else's existence and walking around on carpets and breathing recycled air and functioning at 68 to 72 degrees. And it's a very odd artificial existence. And we're eating ultra processed food that's manipulated with high bliss point, with by food engineers, where you literally have like these dopamine triggered serotonin food gasms because they're manipulating these foods. And that is highly atypical to the food that we used to eat. And then the food availability is so extreme now, like that we can eat all day long. And it used to be hard to find food, to get food, to hunt food, to prepare food, to grow food. All of that was difficult. We used to go days without eating. We didn't call it fasting back then. We called it starving.
Yep.
Like all of this was harder before. We were much more resilient
Mm,
before than
mm,
we are now. We're becoming very easy to kill.
yeah.
So that's the problem, is we lack the resilience. So finding these biohacks can help us become more resilient and more resistant to those pathogens like you're talking about.
Yeah.
And honestly, one of the things I think about is, this might sound crazy, but like when I'm healthy and happy, I'll eat food off, if it falls on the floor, I'm gonna eat it. Like
Yep.
if I'm around someone coughing or sneezing, I don't care.
Yep.
My immune system needs to go to the gym.
Mm,
My immune system needs that workout that like little
exactly.
kids tend to have, that dogs have, that people in other countries have, but we no longer have because we're trying to make everything sterile and we're scared of pathogens, and we have fear, which makes our immune systems even lower.
Yep.
And then, with all the sterilization and all the antivirals and all this stuff, our immune system sucks.
Yeah.
That's why people are getting sick. And it is absolutely important to keep your immune system elevated by challenging it. Again, that harder to kill, challenge it with eustress.
Yep.
Now, if I was sick, I wouldn't jump in the cold lake. If I
Right.
was sick, I wouldn't be around someone coughing or sneezing.
Yeah.
It's
It's more of
totally
a
different.
preventative measure. Yeah. Yeah. You're
Hmm.
speaking my language here on everything you just said there. That was actually one of the things I was a little bit concerned about in the beginning of lockdowns was, is like the opposite of what we want to be doing. And I understand, we needed lockdowns for obvious reasons. but it's also kind of the opposite of what we really need for our health. You know, we're staying indoors, we're not around people. Now you're talking about mental health issues, and I can go down a rabbit hole of all of that. But you were talking about getting outside in nature is super important. That's something I've really been enjoying in the last year. Is going out for walks and paying attention to the sounds of the birds and just the sunlight hitting your skin.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
presence and that's mindfulness.
mindfulness. Yeah.
That's living in the here and now, and that's so critical too. Like that's something we've gotten away from too, is when we get our notifications, when we watch commercials, when there's all these things on our phone, on our TV, like all these things going on, and people calling us and emails. We're distracted constantly. Everyone wants our attention because we're a commodity, and they want us to buy. And meanwhile, we're not present anymore. We're not mindful anymore. And that comes at a cost to our immune system and to our health, to our well-being. And so, and that's actually like something I struggled with a lot of my life, is that, with depression and grinding and achievement, I was going out for slow sacrifice. I was like heads down for years, trying to level up and get somewhere to eventually be happy or be loved. And then at other points, I'm doing biohacks for, quick changes and cutting out this part of my body that I hate or need to fix. That mindset is not healthy. Like, I am beautiful, I am great, I am happy, I am healthy now. If I let myself be, I can be vibrant and resilient and be mindful in the middle, and not looking for quick hacks and not looking for years of sacrifice. I can be mindful and present in the here and now, and that is so much better. And I'm
Yes.
not saying biohacks are bad by any means, but you need to build it on the base of that self-love, that vibrance for life, that enjoyment of life. It's like
Mm.
happiness isn't, happiness, sexiness, success. Like they're not places that you get to. They're places that you just are and you
Yep.
choose to be. There's no destination. There's no like, oh, I'll be happy when. I'll be sexy if I lose 50 pounds. I'll be happy when I get $1 million. I'll be successful when I have 1 million followers. You're successful now if you want to be. Like that's how
Mm.
you get there. You can be happy now if you want to be. You can be sexy now if you want to be. You all know people that are successful that are making, 5 figures. You know people that are sexy that are like 300 pounds. You know people that are, um, happy that, don't have cars and houses and whatever. I
Yes.
mean, it's all a choice. It's all a state of mind, and that's part of that growth chapter too.